You're listening to RTI Audio, powered by Rocky Top Insider. This is Pancakes and Bacon with VFL, Kyler Kerbison, and Reed Bacon.
Hello, Vol Nation. Welcome to another episode of Pancakes and Bacon. I'm your host, as always, Kyler Kerbison, joined with Reed Bacon. We got another great one. We're talking fall camp, any kind of updates you see, and where we think the team should kind of be heading into this week, about 2 weeks away from game day. Also going to talk about the massive deal Danny White got done in the Adidas apparel. So we're going to hit all of that stuff. If you guys are watching, please like, subscribe, notification bell, leave a comment. If you're just listening, rate, review, download, re-download. Follow us on those listening platforms. Follow us on social media. Everything is below, so check us out there. And let's just get into it. Reed, how are we doing, bud?
Well. Mr. Kerbison, I am doing great, my friend. Right now, just a little arts and crafts time with the whiteboard. As you can see, I don't have it up yet. And while we
fresh one for the season.
Well, no, what I was going to say is the quotes are coming back. So quotes are coming back. I've already got a couple in mind that I'm going to be using. So quotes will be back. Anyways, though, I'm doing well. I had a very, very nice weekend. I thought about you. Well, we talked about you multiple times yesterday on the golf course. Logan and I played golf, and then with one of his buddies too. That, Chad's a great guy. I love Chaz. I've grown up, watched him grow up with Logan. But we were talking about you, the big fella, and then, man, it is wild. And I meant to call you yesterday. Good thing I didn't because you were busy, which we'll get to that. Yeah. But I thought about you so much. I was like, I cannot believe the little trick of just like, don't say keep your head down. Don't say, hey, Reed, you're hitching up, you're raising up. You just said, Reed, just do not take your eye off the ball the entire time. And it's like the number one most simplest rule that all of our parents tell us, like, hey, buddy, I'm going to throw it. Don't take your eye off the ball. Watch it into your hands. Watch it with the bat. But I got so mental with so much golf game that I'm thinking about so much in my turn, in my backswing, in my tempo. And it's like you were just like, hey, bro, if you just watch what's written on the ball, you're never going to miss it.
Stare at it, baby.
Not that I was necessarily missing it, but like mishitting it and stuff, or topping it, I should say. Yeah. But yeah, it was a great weekend, and I did feel super, super lame putting that selfie out. Yeah, but it was like the point was made. It was kind of funny. It was like, hey, I still got some Adidas, so
yeah,
If you stay ready,
you don't have to get ready if you stay ready, baby.
Facts. And listen. Now I am wearing Nike right now because this is one of my favorite hoodies that I wear from you. Well, actually, it's just one of my favorite hoodies in general. And I have a lot of Nike gear. We will talk about that here shortly. I think the people need to hear about your weekend and that cool thing that you did. Yeah. That you sent me.
Yes, this weekend was great. We celebrated my Mamaw's 90th birthday. And it was a great time. It was like a mini family reunion on my mom's side. And yeah, man, just got a chance to see everybody. Hadn't seen a lot of people in a long time. Hang out with everyone, reminisce on stuff, look back on things. And then my mom wanted to do this like quote unquote talent show there. And it's always funny, like my mom, who's, and my uncles and everybody, all the adults always want to do the talent show where everyone else does stuff and they're not stepping up there at all. Right. So my mom wanted to put this on, and she actually came up with the idea of me taking some high school highlight film of my grandpa when he played at Oak Ridge and doing a little voiceover to it. trying to making it funny and, just seeing some of his old highlights, which he was a dog in high school. Just an absolute menace, played quarterback, ran the ball. They ran the veer. He was just a freak athlete.
Yeah, first off, I can second that. I watched the highlight film and I called Kyler and I was like, dude was just a man amongst boys out there. But you need to make sure to let people know if they don't know. He went on to play at the University of Tennessee.
Yes.
And didn't he be part of one of their national championship teams?
No, he's part of one of the SEC championship because he was there from like 51 to 54 or something like that. 51 to 55.
Right before they won.
Yeah, so he was part of a SEC championship. So like made a little video of that. It was funny. Like, family liked it. And then like some of the younger ones, they did some singing, they did some songs. One of my younger second cousins tried to do like a Stitch impression, like Lilo and Stitch. It was cute. She was very scared. She had the mic. She was like, I'm scared to say it. I'm scared to do it. I was like, you can do it. You can do it. And she eventually did. She got over that fear. So that was great. It was just fun seeing everybody getting to hang out with everybody, seeing Big John and Ann, my brother and sister. So just a great time. Love hanging out with the fam.
I was going to ask if John was there. I figured he was. How many people did y'all have total?
I think it was like 23.
Nice.
Total. Yeah. Went up to a cabin in Pigeon Forge.
Everybody stay in the same cabin?
Yep. Everybody's the same cabin. Saw a black bear while I was up there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Was it big?
It was decent. It was decent size, but it literally was like walking up the road that led to our cabin and like our little parking area. It just walked right by. Like it like hopped on top of the trash cans. It wanted to get in there, but their trash cans they have outside are like in cages.
Yeah.
For that. Mm-hmm. And he couldn't get in. So then he just like kept walking to look for more stuff.
Listen, I'm pissed. You know how many times I've been to Pigeon Forge, Sevierville.
You ain't never seen a black bear?
I have yet to see a bear in person besides zoo. And it is the one thing I want to see so bad. Like I've done multiple hikes up there.
Hell, you see one every weekend, buddy.
I do. But listen, am I going to act like I'm up there every other weekend? No, not at all. But I've grown up and lived here majority or a good portion of my life. There was a stint where we were hitting hikes pretty consistently. I've been up there, a number of times, and I still haven't seen one. And I'm just and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen them all the time." I'm like, "Sweet dude, why don't you brag about it?"
Thanks, bro. Thanks.
I always joke with Megan that if I ever won the lottery or hit it big and become super wealthy, you know how you always see those things on social media that says there will be signs. Well, my sign's gonna be that people are going to show up, and my house is just going to have all these awesome exotic animals. I'm going to have a bear. I'm going to have like a lion or a tiger. I want them all.
Local Knoxville man dies at age 34 after winning the lottery and buying tigers, lions, and bears to live in his home.
Listen, I'd buy them when they're cubs. I'd raise them up. They'd love me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It worked out for everybody else before you. It's definitely worked out for you. It's the Tiger King.
Oh gosh. All right. The only other thing that I need to talk about before we'll get into fall camp is bacon junk removal. I didn't mention it last week. I'm going to start continuing to be better about mentioning it every time. But it's like, if people watch this and they're consistently knowing, they know about the business, they know about it. But give me a shout anytime. I would love the opportunity to help any way that I can. And other than that, we'll jump into it. So we are officially, it is August 17th. I guess they started at the 1st of August, so they are basically
13.
Yeah. So, they're 2 weeks in, But realistically, like this week for Heupel, he already said that they're going to treat this like a game week, and then next week is game week, which is very, very cool to say. I know for a fact at Memphis, I was so stoked when it was game week, but we had to wait. Like I think we were gonna only do like 4 weeks of camp, and the way Memphis' schedule dropped is we didn't play like week 0, we played week 1. So we had like 5 weeks of camp or like 4.5, and it was just a disaster. But a couple things, and I always like to ask you this because I think it's interesting, and I know that people have heard it before, but like just give the people a little brief synopsis of how you're feeling right now in camp personally, like when you were there.
Yeah, I mean, at this point of camp, I think this is a great point to make about camp is that Monday fall classes start tomorrow.
Oh, they're so
they
lucky.
are starting. When you guys watch this, they're in class. Okay. That being said, when classes start back up in the fall, that is the light at the end of the tunnel when you're in camp. Okay. So these guys have been busting their ass for 2.5 weeks and just singular focused football. That's all we're talking about. That's all we're looking at. We're trying to be better at football. They're not even thinking about Syracuse. That's not what's going on. It's like, how can you be better at this sport? We're not worried about game plan for Syracuse, who's their starting linebacker, whatever. We're not even looking at them. Now, classes are starting. Half of your day is football. Half of your day is school. Okay. So now you've got a little bit of break from football. You're starting to get maybe a little bit more sleep in, depending on like how their schedule breaks up. If they have morning classes, now you don't have to get up at 5 a.m. for meetings. Now you're getting up at 7 a.m. for 8 a.m. class. It's like, hey, that's a little bit nicer. But yeah, when you're in this point, you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and then you're starting to switch your mindset. You're starting to switch it to game day. You're starting to feel those jitters of, oh, now we got a game coming up. It's not just I'm bashing my head against my brother on the other side for 2 weeks. Now it's, hey, I got an opponent. Hey, I got to get ready for them. Hey, what plays are going to work well versus them? Hey, what blitzes do they like to run? Hey, you start looking into that starts trickling in. And that's why Hype is saying, hey, this week we're going to treat it like a game week, because I'm treating it like that in film, right? I'm treating it like that in practice. Hey, you need to be looking for this linebacker on the blitz because they like to do this. All that kind of stuff is starting to trickle into practice, and it's less about, hey, we got to get better at your technique. It's more about, hey, we got to get prepared for our opponent. So that's kind of like where it's going right now, which, I mean, it falls in line with decision making. I'll say that.
Yeah.
In the position groups.
Okay, not to change subjects, but look what I've been working on over here.
That's great.
This entire time, all 13 minutes we've been on here, I've had to do it and restart it like 4 or 5 times. That's not bad though.
It's not bad. You got to try this one.
No, I was looking at that one, but that one's tough. I don't really like that one that much.
Why not?
I know it's a classic, but I'm not a huge fan of that one.
That one you drew just seems so simple.
It seems what?
You know what I mean? It seems so simple.
Yeah, but that's how I am. I like simple, clean, classic. I just want simple, clean, classic. Yours does seem classic because that's like the retro Adidas.
Yeah, that's what I like, the classic look.
I'll sit like this the rest of the time.
Yeah. As soon as I skip down, you got to cover it.
Yeah. So school starting, I had never been more excited in my life for classes to start, because when I was at Memphis, it was legitimately going from, like I said, we were still going really hard, but instead of waking up at 5, guys are going to, probably, well, I guess we still had some 5 a.m. workouts or 6 a.m. workouts. So waking up at 5, but those weren't necessarily every day, but you are getting some more days of sleeping in. You're going to class. You and I were talking about this on the golf course a couple weekends. about how I think you said Dooley was a morning.
Yep.
Dooley was morning and then classes, and then Butch was classes and then practice.
Yeah.
Which I forget which one you said you liked better.
I like the Butch one better, but at the same time, a couple years of the Butch one, I had a really good grasp of my classes and my schedule, and I got to pick when I wanted to go. Like when you're a freshman, you're an athlete, so they give you a little bit more like leeway with the classes you get to pick, but a lot of the times it's like you got to go. Like you have to. They're required for whatever you're doing. Like you have to take econ, you have to take accounting, you have to take, so it's like getting all those in like freshman, sophomore year. When I was with Dooley, it was like rough going to freaking geology at 12:30 after waking up at 5:30 for practice. I mean, in a big ass auditorium, you got a few knocked out dudes in there.
Yeah.
So I think I liked the afternoon practice more. If I didn't have a class, I got time to like wake up or, spend extra time in the hot tub before practice stretching, like just taking my time.
Yeah, I was the same way. I loved our, practices in the afternoon. I think at Memphis, our team meeting was at 2:00, and then, we'd get out there just practice by like 2:30, 2:45, and we were out of there and done by probably 5:45, 6:30. When school started. So I like the afternoon. You and I were even talking about it as well, that when we were at Catholic, my first 3 years there, when we did two-a-days, our two-a-days were from 5 to 9 at night. It was incredible. Incredible.
We said 45-minute break in between the it was the second practice.
It was hot when you started, but by the time you're an hour and a half in, by 7 to 9 was just beautiful time to be out there. I felt like we got great work in. Obviously, we were younger, so we loved being able to be like, when you finish practice, like, okay, we have all night because we don't have to wake up super, super early tomorrow. So that was great. Yeah, so where these guys are right now, I think you mentioned it, they're just looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. They're about to get it. But where the coaches are definitely hoping to be, which is kind of what we were wanting to talk about, is Kyler. I'm pretty sure like they've probably seen enough of the Hayes in the barn. You've gotten 2 scrimmages. Obviously, you saw the first one. They just had their second scrimmage. I think after that, they pretty much know, hey, this is who we're going to rock with at quarterback. This is probably our best 5 linemen. But then here's also 2 and 3, meaning not necessarily who's the – I meant like the best 5, and I'm not saying like who's the backup where, but then the next alignment and then the next alignment. Because they know, instead of being like, oh, well, if Jesse Perry gets hurt and has to go down at guard, well, then Kyler Kerberson replaces. It's like, no. If he goes down, then like we're swapping around.
We're bumping a guy over, bringing another guy in.
Yeah, exactly. So they kind of, when I say they know they're 2 and 3, I think actual alignment, and they know they're 2 and 3, 5. A lot of it's. I don't get into this talking season a lot. I just can't do it. I feel like everybody is repeating themselves over and over and over again, and so it's like for this podcast, like I don't want us to do that. There's only so many things I can say. I mean, when I'm riding around in the car and I'm listening to sports talk radio, and it's they have squeezed everything else that they can. And potentially next week it will change. This week will be pretty bad until we get until we probably hear who the starter is, and then you can start talking about that. But what I mean by this week is bad as in the turn of topics, unless we get something else different. Next week will be a little bit better because you're going to know who the starting quarterback is probably. You're going to have a face to the opponent to like break them down. Maybe you're bringing in beat writers from that team, hearing about them, looking into them. But I just don't like the talking season. I don't like the silly season. You guys have already kind of heard my opinions once or twice about this team so far. Next week we'll do our season breakdown on or our season prediction, not season breakdown. But I just think it's a good point to make is like where the players are feeling right now at fall camp and where you and I hope them to be. And knock on wood, Tennessee has not had any major injuries. And I know there's been some people dinged up, but we haven't heard someone that's like, oh, there's an Achilles, there's an ACL. So
that's been relatively healthy, which we like. You're right. This week is kind of that time frame where you're finding who's going to be in the 1 and 2 deep. I obviously quarterback is the position everyone's thinking about, looking at, wanting to know, talking about. But some of those others, we kind of talked about last week, like the running back position. I really want to know, I really want to see who's RB2. Like, is it the transfer? Is it DeJuan Morris, who I liked last scrimmage? Is it Peyton Lewis? Who's back there? And then, who's that 2 deep linebacker group? And, who's able to step in for guys if they're tired on a drive or whatever. So this is the time where you're probably going to start to see a little bit more of that, see a little bit more of hey, I'm sorry to you, this man, but you are on scout team. Okay, we're doing a scout team period. Here, you're going to go against the defense. Here, you're going to go against the offense. And guys will kind of start to pick up on that. But yeah, this is where the juices start pumping, getting ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Pop that. I don't have anything else there. I just can't bring myself to just regurgitate the same information that we've said multiple times and everyone else has said multiple times. It's just silly. Okay. As the former player.
Yes.
What do you think about the announcement about going back to Adidas? What do you think of Adidas? Were you happy with Adidas when you were there? Because you had Adidas for 1 or 2 years.
I had Adidas for 3 years, and I had Nike for 2 years.
Okay, just wherever you want to start, go.
So I have enjoyed Nike more than Adidas in apparel, in swag, in wearing them.
Wait, are you saying now or just in general or while you're
since I have been in high school? I've enjoyed Nike more than Adidas. In my real life, in football life, always did. I liked all of their stuff more, all of their apparel more. I think it fits better. I think it's cooler. I think it's more breathable. I've always thought Nike is elite when it comes to that. I think Adidas is starting to make a comeback, but I'm also hey, I really like what we're doing with the black jerseys and the black uniforms. I think it's really cool. I think it's cool that we're doing new smoky grays every year and we're trying stuff. And there's a certain swag level that Nike brings. Okay. All that to say, when I was in college, Nike was something that you wanted for recruiting in a way. Hey, look at the cool things that we have, right? Because that was such a huge part of recruiting. And Oregon had just taken over with Nike stuff, and almost every other player out there was guys were picking Oregon because of the uniforms. That was happening in the country. Recruits were literally picking Oregon just because they love the uniform so much. That made a huge difference. So that was very important back then. And I look at it now and it's who gives a shit? Danny White's hey, do we have more money for our program? Great. Because that's what people care about. Now I have this money from Adidas. I can spend it on things I want to spend it on. And now everybody else, I don't have to go to the boosters and ask them for money to spend on this stuff. I have the deal with Adidas. I have this money from Adidas. Now I can spend it on things for the athletic program as a whole. And all the boosters can just give all their money to everybody else, all their money over to the players in their NIL stuff and make it work that way. So it's the name of the game is cash moolah, baby. That's what matters now. So it's like, I love the swag of Nike. I like their uniforms. I like their fit. I like the actual stuff that they have. But, I mean, end all be all, let me get the bag. Let me get the bag. Because these guys aren't looking at uniforms the same anymore. It's like, where am I going to play? Where am I going to get the bag? And how am I going to get drafted?
I have two follow-ups real quick. When you were in Adidas cleats or Adidas uniforms, there was nothing remotely that you felt like, oh, when you guys went to Nike that you were going to play better or anything like that? Like there was no.
I mean, no, I wasn't like, oh, I got more grip in this or, whatever. It was just like Adidas and their like girdles. So like the stuff you wear underneath your pants that had thigh pads in it. It was like the way that it fit on you. And then also how like thin it was, it would rip really easily. But then when we got the Nike ones, it was like, I could wear that thing for months and it's like perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And it's just stuff like that. And then like the jerseys that last year, like if you see them in person and like touch them, you're like, what is this? Like, why does it feel that way? And then the Nike jerseys, you're like, oh, this is nice. Like you can feel like there's holes in it for breathing. Like the Adidas ones were like thick almost, like they felt thick and sticky on you. So it's like, it didn't necessarily affect exactly how you play, but the Nike just felt better. And then also like, just look at the gray Adidas uniforms versus the gray Nike uniforms. And it's obvious. It's like the most obvious thing ever where you're like, oh yeah, no, I like, this is so much cooler. And I felt so much more invincible, look good, feel good, play good in Nike than I did in Adidas.
So the other follow-up question I have is like when you get your gear, so like when a player goes to his locker for the new year or whatever, and all your winter gear or all your summer gear is there, and then when mat drills and everything start, they give you your winter gear and all that. Did you feel like you all got more Adidas or more Nike, or it's about the same?
About the same. Yeah. I mean, it's the same. It's not like
I remember when
more shirts.
It's about the same.
Yeah, about the same. I mean, like, but then, when we switched to Nike, it was like, oh, these shoes are a lot cooler than the Adidas ones we were getting for workouts. These shoes are a lot cooler for bowl games. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what, that little stuff. You're like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I just asked that because I remember. Now, granted, all this is 10 years ago or 11 years ago.
Exactly,
It's 2025, so your last season was 2015? 2015? Yeah, so 10 years ago. So the texture, the fabric, the technology, and all the different, breathability and all that stuff, I'm assuming it's all come a long way in that time. I know when Tyler was at SIU and they were Under Armour, they gave them tons and tons of stuff. I mean, that guy had so much gear, and I'd always heard that Under Armour was like that, where they gave tons of stuff away. I've always been I've always been between Nike and Adidas. Like I go through phases, and I'm not necessarily brand loyalty. I'm literally like, do I like how it looks no matter what it is? And then when I put it on, how it fits to my body and how it feels, that's it. Like I'll wear anything if I feel like it looks good and fits good, and not care twice about it. Now I'll be honest, I was never a huge Under Armour guy growing up. I didn't really. There was just nothing appealing to me about it. But even when we were in high school and stuff, I rocked a lot of the Adidas tennis shoes, and I liked them. I had plenty of Nikes too, but like the Ultra Boost now that Adidas have been running with for a while, some of the different ones, I think they're really good shoes. I've pretty much gotten away from Adidas and Nike. I basically wear either On Clouds or Brooks now. But I do think there is still probably a little bit of an edge for Nike when it's their hoodies or their sweatshirts or their T-shirts, whether it feels good, looks a little bit better. It's just we're the self-proclaimed swag police for all of All Nation. So it's like Nike's probably there a little bit. And I say all that to say this. If Nike wants to just continue to treat us like another school and Adidas wants us to make us like their trademark school, that alone, I'm in. Like go somewhere.
That's true.
Go somewhere you're wanted. Go somewhere that they're going to treat you like number one. They're going to treat you great. I'm going to be honest with you, Kyler. Adidas is the real winner out of this, in my opinion. Now, I'm a Tennessee fan, but I like to call it how I see it. But Tennessee just won the baseball. They won the national championship in baseball 2 years ago. Our football team has been extremely relevant under Coach Heupel. Our basketball team is always relevant until the second round of the March Madness. Sorry. But, I mean, like, we are as good of a school as you can have with your brand on it. Even our golf, our soccer, whatever, softball, like, we kind of are that everything school. So if Adidas is like, yo, we can get in there and make them a trademark school in the way that their trajectory is going up, like, that's great for brands, or brand awareness for them. And the other thing is, too, Vol Nations we're a bunch of psychos. So, like, we're going to buy everything. We're going to show out. We're going to support. We're the type of people that's like, okay, well, if we're Adidas now, like, we're going to buy Adidas stuff because it supports us.
Okay.
So
let me get the updated jersey.
So I think it is very, very a big time win for Adidas, and I think that's why they went so hard, and I appreciate that. I mean, like I said, you want to go where you're wanted and who appreciates you, and you've already said it. Money is everything, and so if they're going to give us more money, we will gladly take it because that only gives us an advantage on the field, and you've already mentioned it. Reed Bacon or Kyler Kerberson from Knoxville Catholic, if we are getting recruited and a place is one Nike and one Adidas, but the Adidas is giving me an extra $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 and everything else is equal, then of course I'm going to where they're going to give me more money. Definitely. And so I think the brand allegiance is out there. I do think it's really neat. I did hear this on the radio. I think it was Adam Sparks, the guy who works for the New Sentinel. I like reading his stuff from time to time, and they had him on Josh and Swain, and he was kind of going through the background of all this, and he made a really good comment about how Adidas is like going after the players now, like the younger players. It's kind of like what Adidas did in AAU basketball. They would just sponsor all the AAU teams to try to get some of these really good athletes that would potentially then go to the NFL. Mm-hmm. I mean, to the NBA. And now they're sponsoring, instead of sponsoring like an AAU team or like a 7-on-7 team, they just go and sponsor Tristan Keys, who's the number one receiver in the nation. So that's pretty cool. It's like, that's a smart play by Adidas. And so for me, like, I'll be honest, if I was picking a brand, what I think is the coolest brand, and I've said this multiple times now, you could probably guess it. People that listen to this will probably remember me saying it. But like, I think the Jordan stuff's the coolest. Like, Florida, Oklahoma, Michigan, like the Jordan cleats and gloves and stuff. And then, you're going to get a lot of dope shoes and workout gear and stuff. So I think that looks the best. Yeah. But if it's about, money and getting us more and treating us better than others, like, I'm all in. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, does it make it easier to have more wins? Great. I'm happy. I buy Tennessee swag because I like the way it looks. Doesn't matter which emblem is on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It says Tennessee. It says Vols. It says Rocky Top. It says Smoky. They all do. It's just like, what looks the coolest?
Yeah. Yeah. I will be honest. It would have been a little brutal for me if Under Armour. Listen, if Under Armour is going to write the checks, I'll take it. But Under Armour is still just, I'm not a huge fan. For me, it's Jordan stuff on football. I'm talking about just football. It's Jordan, Nike, Adidas, and then a massive drop off then Under Armour. I don't even know if there's another player in there. Is it just those three that are the main players?
I mean, pretty much, yeah. It's so funny to think back on like how much the apparel companies change and go back and forth. Like Russell used to be like that was all that was there. I remember
NFL was Reebok.
Yeah, Reebok, dude. You remember like end of elementary into middle school, Under Armour came out of nowhere, and they were the hottest thing in the world. Like if you got Under Armour, you're like, oh shit, like. Oh wow, you got Under Armour. Like I remember that movie The Rock made with Exhibit called Gridiron Gang.
Yeah.
Do you remember that movie? Yes, like that was around that time frame, and like everybody swagged out in Under Armour uniforms and everything like that. Like it was like such a big deal, and then they just kind of fell off, and then it's Nike, and the NFL has Nike now, so I think that's part of it too. Like you're growing up watching football, and you're watching guys with Nike stuff. You're like, those guys are cool. I like Justin Jefferson. He's really cool. I want to be like him, and he wears Nike. I mean, it rubs off.
Hitting realistically, I would honestly walk into Dick's or Academy Sports or wherever, and I would look at the cleats, and it would be like, those are dope, those aren't, those are, this aren't. And it didn't matter what they were. It truly was. Like, I'm not like, oh, I'm just going to go just for the Nike. But I think that the biggest thing about it is now, I guess that I already mentioned, it's fascinating. You jog my mind to think about how fascinating the apparel companies are, but realistically, the apparel companies just have to hit on a player. Because if you hit on a player or two, Under Armour, I'm not talking about early on, but Under Armour I feel like has been able to sustain because they've gotten some baseball guys, but getting Steph Curry was like the greatest thing they've ever done.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was one. Reebok when we were younger was actually pretty hard because they had Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson probably did more for Reebok than most stars did for another brand at a time.
Yeah, because I mean he was like, I'm not doing the status quo. Like I'm dressing different.
So Reebok having Allen Iverson and then the NFL for the longest time, I don't even know the last time I've seen anything Reebok, to be honest with you.
No.
Sorry, this is just me.
In the thrift store.
Yeah, this is just me now talking out. My thoughts are talking out loud because you personally have piqued my interest about the ebbs and flows of the apparel. And there's so much apparel too. Even if you don't like Adidas stuff, you're going to be able to go over and find. You're still probably going to be able to find Nike apparel stuff. Maybe not. I know that one's pretty tough, but you'll listen. Your boy's definitely buying a lot of the stuff when they put it on sale if it's stuff I like. But you can still go find. You can go find Cutter and Buck, Peter Millar, Turtleson, Johnny O.
I mean, all these. I mean, there's new
Lululemon.
There's new companies every day that are getting the rights.
Yeah.
To use our symbols and stuff like that. They're like, I mean, you can go on multiple different websites that are like, we now carry Tennessee gear, like with a T on it. Yeah. It's like, okay, great. Yeah, I'll get that with a T on it. Like, I mean, you can get it anywhere. And then you can also, the resale, it just keeps coming back. I mean, people are finding, I guarantee you can go on Facebook Marketplace right now and find some old Adidas Tennessee apparel.
That goes hard. Yeah, for sure.
That goes hard.
For sure. That's it for me. Next week, we will dive in. We'll talk Syracuse, and we will give our final season predictions.
Oh, yeah. It's coming, baby.
I'm going to, if I get time, I'm going to go back to all of our podcasts for the past 4 years, and I'm going to take and see what our season predictions were.
And how well we did?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. I think I did the best. So, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. I don't like the fact that I was right about Arkansas last year, and I called that very early that we would lose that. I have another one of those. I have another one of those that I'm probably going to predict this year, and I hope it's wrong, but I just got a little bad feeling in my tummy.
Hey, sometimes you got to listen. Sometimes you got to listen to that.
Yeah. Go Vols.
All right, brother.
Talk to you a little bit.
See ya. Okay. Thank you guys for watching and listening. If you are watching, please like, subscribe, notification bell, leave a comment. If you're just listening, rate, review, download, re-download. Follow us on the listening platforms. Follow us on social media. Everything is below in the description. Y'all are the best fans in the world. Really appreciate it. Super excited for the season to start. Super excited for us to get into what Syracuse looks like, go into the schedule, all that great stuff. But as always,